What's going on, guys? I am working on the night. Just bringing back up the picture. And I'm gonna have to give her a badass name when I finish with it. So I actually started working on it some more, and I wanted to kind of stop and just have you guys look while I work on it some more. Again, this is just a rough sketch. Actually got the hand in a perfect proportion of what I wanted it, and when I finally kind of put it together and get the armor of what I want to watch on, what I want to have on it, it's actually going to turn out really well. Pretty much touched up everything that I want to actually have. Now, what I want to actually have her looking like is, I don't know. I want an armor type situation. Now, I know that's not the correct term of it, but I want an armor situation. Do I want one of those loincloths type things in the middle? Not loincloths, but you know, drop down. Do I want pauldins? Do I want freaking do I want glaives? That just doesn't look right. One thing that I know that's going to happen is her scarboard is going to be right here. Because she's left-handed, she's always going to draw on her right. The sword is going to be on her right so she can come across the body. And I just made the gesture like you guys can actually see it. Speaking of women warrior, something that's been pissing me off lately, excuse my language, but I watch Dragon Ball Super, and I really freaking hate that our community is as bad as it is for what seems to be only superficial reasons why they don't like a specific character or characters. And what I mean by that is, in Dragon Ball Super, they've actually introduced 3 women, basically, that were actually pretty strong in their own rights. Now, granted, one of them is an annoying character, and that character is annoying only because of the outright deference to a parody that they're using. But I really hate that our community is just so deference to Kel and Khalifa, saying that they didn't earn their power, which is ironically because nobody in Dragon Ball Z, save for a few people, have actually earned their power. It's all been plot contrivances and because reasons. And why do I say that? Well, one, Goku actually did earn his power. I'm not gonna disenchant his work. Vegeta earned his power. I'm not gonna say his work and his power were gifted to him. But Gohan, and I actually like Gohan, Gohan didn't really earn his power. The most powerful form he had, he got from sitting still for 20 hours. Ultimate Gohan was effectively sit still and have somebody unlock your power. And even before that, even in the Cell Saga, Gohan just got mad. He didn't have a personal tragedy. He just got mad. He had a fit like everybody else. I don't know which way I'm going with this. I don't really like this top. Although the legs are actually pretty good. Be right back, guys. So, time for some experimenting. And I'm knocking my mic around. There we go. Let me see something. I'm sorry if it actually ruins the picture a little bit, guys, but I want to actually get this. Gotta buy some more paper for my tablet. I actually want to keep the gleaves, but that should do. Don't need it that bright. All right. I can go on all day about plot contrivances with a lot of different characters in anime. And I actually thought we all outgrew our... Well, I guess I never had it. The baseless, yuck, girls are icky type feelings. But I guess some guys never outgrow that. Because I see that a lot of guys that just hated Dragon Ball Super's move to push Khalifa and Kale being as strong as they did seem to forget that nobody after Vegeta popped up with the Super Vegeta form against Android 19 really earned their power. You actually had Trunks, and if you actually go back to the manga, Trunks was already a Super Saiyan before Gohan died, but he didn't really become a true Super Saiyan until he died. Who was it? Gohan actually, like I said, he got mad in this Roman Spirited Time. He just powered up to Super Saiyan. It wasn't a real need for that power. And the biggest meme in the world is that people are getting mad at the tingly back thing, which, ironically, Goku said when he found out Khalifa could do a higher form of Super Saiyan. His words were, I discovered it. She said, I discovered it with a tingly back feel. And he says, yeah, that's how it feels. And he didn't dismiss it and saying that was stupid. No, that on the contrary, that's exactly, he actually says that's how it feels when you go Super Saiyan. Now, another thing too is, for those of you guys who watch Naruto, the way she described going Super Saiyan was basically how Rock Lee opens gates. Rock Lee and Light Guy actually opens the gates, the chakra gates. And that made a lot of freaking sense when you explain it that way. For those of you guys who watch Naruto or watch any of the other chakras, chakra-based mythology, anime, it was even in Avatar: The Last Airbender where Aang was trying to learn that and master the Avatar state. He actually had to use it's pretty good. Go ahead and charge my phone back. Alright, so smeared it a little bit. But yeah, that was one of the things that he was going through with the guru for the chakra chaining. And basically, it's not unheard of. Just sad. Of course, what kind of gets me is I understand why people don't like Riverhand. She's a play on the Sailor Moon, and I actually like the Sailor Moon, especially Crystal. It kind of is more faithful to the manga adaptation, and you just get how in love with Serena everybody was. And I know that sickens some people because they try to make her seem like a stupid protagonist. In the manga, Serena was nothing but, or Princess Serenity was never that stupid after she transformed. And why am I even calling her Serena or Serenity? Yeah, she was Serenity, but her name was actually Bunny, which is ironic because her last name is Bunny. I mean, of the Moon, which they make a referential joke about. I'm trying to think of what I want her eye to be. What her shield to be. Now I was thinking about the eye. Hell, might as well. May have drawn this a little bit too big, but
What we do here is go back.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure I get this as close to the picture that I can. And this is actually just a sketch. What I drew right before was the outline. Call me self-absorbed, but yeah, I have to do it. And it doesn't have to necessarily be a perfect rendition of it. So I may actually have to go back over and retrace this, but at least I'm getting my ideas down that I want to actually do without having to mess up the what I like to call the proof. And while I'm working on it, I can actually just talk about it. Basically, obviously, I'm drawing my symbol, my logo, and how I came up with it is actually pretty. I wanted to mash together some things. My first attempt was to mash together the symbol for Neath, which is two bows, the symbol of Isis, which is a knot, And if I have to actually draw out or simplify the picture a little bit more in order for it to fit on the shield, so be it. There we have it, the logo. Now, let's go ahead and do something about the top of this ship. Give it a more rounded look. Alright, so what I'm actually going to do right here is give it more of a bezel. And we're going to give it a nice thinner bezel over here. So what I'm going to also do is take those two corners away, and when I redo it, it actually look a little bit more polished. And sometimes for me, guys, the best way I know how to draw a effective line is to basically intersect the lines and just erase the overdrawing. If you watch the previous video, you would see that Basically, I had to draw the skeleton first, then draw through the skeleton. And I'm not somebody that cares about erasing marks, because I'm gonna actually go back over it and do it. Just want a clear picture of what I'm doing. So, obviously this line is not straight as at all. I just drew it, but let me soften it so I at least know what the line is when I do draw it. I want her nose to be right here. And the top of her lip to be right here. And this is going to be her eye line. We want to have her scarlet coming right here. Yeah, I want it actually bigger because she's going to have a bigger sword. It's going to be more for... She's not going to have the super big Final Fantasy sword, but she's going to have a longer sword, which... at least width-wise, she can defend against. Defend as well as attack with. God. So let's go actually work on her nose. I wish I had a smaller eraser. I've actually worn this eraser a little bit too much. But god damn it if I'm not precise. Alright, so all of my other characters don't have those big anime eyes. And hold on guys, 1 second. Sorry about that, guys. Had to take a little break. Now, what I was saying is, none of my character has those anime eyes, but I want to actually give this character some more expressive eyes. One of my biggest problems when I was growing up, when I was working on art, is I actually had a real bad issue with drawing eyes the same. And it's an issue I've mostly gotten over. but it still can be difficult at times. Like that one is almost perfect, and the spacing is actually almost perfect. Now, one thing about this art style I've done, and it's a little bit of a cheat, I know it is. I've actually lips too big. I've actually cheated with my mouth. Because the lip style is they get top lips and no bottom lips. And to be honest, the only reason why I did that because it's easy. But one thing that I find with this one is I actually want her to have an open mouth. And because she's the warrior slash knight. I'm gonna actually give her a helmet. And this is not because I recently saw the Justice League movie, or you know, Thor Ragnarok. And just to say, the Justice League movie, it's, I was gonna say it wasn't that bad, but it kind of, it wasn't that bad. You know what it felt like? It felt like a setup for another movie. Like, you're gonna get Darkseid. Oh, I just messed up my face. I'll leave that open in for her. But one thing that I did want to do is actually start giving her more of the characteristics of her eyes.
What we do here is
I'll
go
come back and
back,
fix that in a second. And this is actually one that's gonna have quote unquote normal eyes. So just thinking, guys. I'm thinking. Sorry, guys. I'm just sitting back thinking. Because I actually want to put I want to put some kind of symbol. I already know I want her to have some kind sort of cape. Sorry, guys, I'm conceptualizing something. Close enough. Don't need the two-headed. Yonder type. Alright, so let's give her some it's gonna be difficult to do. Wow, I just got really, really lazy right there. Doesn't fit. but I know what does work. And this is just a trick that I have. And I'll probably come back and do it again. Kind of fix the shape of her hair. Alright. Now, let's just... Wow.
What we do here is go back, 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 back.
Something doesn't look visually right for me. Be right back, guys. And I understand it's still my style, but I have to still look at a reference point for my own style. like that. Shoot. Maybe this will work. Yeah, that actually works a little bit better. Do a little bit better. Sorry guys, I'm just actually trying to think of just something about the size of her. Yeah, in relationship to that. That's actually a whole bunch better. Give me a second, guys. Trying to move around without knocking over anything, which I just did. Hanzo's sword is not, but never been good at drawing a longer straight line. And when I go back over it, I'm gonna have to really take some time and work on that. But wow, it's almost becoming a complete picture.
What we do here is go back.
Now, one thing that I did want to do, put the bird. Sorry guys, I'm just thinking about it. I'm gonna place you on a break quick, right quick. When it's time. I'm not saying right now, you have to do it right now. I'm not saying that. I'm just trying to get it straight. Alright guys, had to take a little break right there. And just took a break to try to get my mind wrapped around what I want to draw. See.
I recognize those hands, your Slayer Jin said.
No, I'm not.
Oh, I see. All hands just look alike, sad.
Oh, God, I'm freaking stuck. I know some details that's gonna happen after I freaking add the color, but I'm freaking stuck. That's around.
Being a real artist, I can advise you. Why do you have the Illuminati symbol on shield?
That's not the Illuminati signal. It's the Ivra mixed with the Unk of Life and the Quill of Wisdom. Speaking of the symbol, this is actually my own symbol.
Why are you using the aura? Are you into Asian mysticism?
Not mysticism, but I actually like what Ra represents. Order.
I have Ra.
Yeah. Eye of Ra. It's a mixture of the Unk of Life and the Ostrich Quill. has a bird too, and couldn't really do the raven like I wanted to, or the eagle. And if you know, the ravens are symbol of Odin. The eagle is a symbol of Zeus. Well, I couldn't really do it like I want to, not in full detail like I
Get
need.
this go back.
Am I see? You believe Ra to be the true God?
No, it's just that it's representation of what we held in the past as humans.
You mean the lost power of the black man?
I don't understand what you mean by that question. I just know that there are certain mythologies that would have been prominent throughout, one, the Mediterranean, and two, close to the Mediterranean.
I had the discussion with someone he has black people built pyramids.
Yeah, the people of the Mediterranean weren't really that different until the Great Bronze Age collapse.
His said
There-
Ra was black people original God.
That's a whole big discussion. Like, was it the Sumerians or the Egyptians who originally came up with writing? People did come from the savannas in Africa and then spread out. And it's in our DNA history. We're all apes in some form or fashion. Erase this. I want to keep this.
You know Catholic mysticism is modified ancient mysticism.
Never heard of that term. I know voodoo was based on a number of different African beliefs, as well as a mixture of Roman Catholic.
A guy called Alistair Crowley wrote an evil book worship by Freemasons.
But they're not the only one who used the symbol, so it's one of our iconic symbols. And that's just like the pentagram. The pentagram wasn't originally designed for Satanists. It was actually a sign of nature. So whatever somebody usurps the sign for doesn't actually mean that it's right. By all intents, anything that you use a star for would actually represent evil or good.
He wrote his book in 8. He said ancient God visited him.
Far be it from me to bemoan someone's perception of reality, but I'm a agnostic deist before anything, and you kind of have to have proof in some cases of God talking to you, because some crazy people have said that before. They weren't exactly sane.
Everything evil written in his book is ancient God words.
Yeah, and people used to do spells in Latin. That doesn't mean that it was effectively evil or good.
His book says do what thou wilt. Meaning commit your evil desires.
By that token, you shouldn't listen to Assassin's Creed, because the guy who came up with the creed, well, the story behind it was that he used to give his guys psychedelic drugs and tell them kill or do whatever you want and set them up in a quote-unquote fake paradise, but it was just manipulation and mind control. Sometimes when people are crazy, sometimes they're manipulative. Look at that 83-year-old that just died for being so manipulative in jail, where he spent more than half his life. Do I want to turn her into a Valkyrie? Yeah, I want to turn her into a Valkyrie.
The book advises human sacrifices, abusing kids' evil stuff.
Again, I think that comes more from his mind than anything. It's one of those things where the evil isn't some spirit, it's the evil that we do to each other.
Many Hollywood celebs follow his book. It's actually right.
I'm gonna need citation on that.
The eye of Ra is used so much in Hollywood.
Does that mean that you also don't spend money? Because it's on the dollar bill.
I send you lust for money.
Nah. Wings thing didn't actually work out. So
You desire fame and fortune.
that's funny. The last thing I desire is fame and fortune. Heck, the last thing I desire is fame or fortune.
What we do here is go back.
If only you had Jesus in your life, Seth.
Do you know what an agnostic deist is?
Four lost souls robbing superhero with a cold sack.
Yeah. Have fun with that belief, dog.
People only say they're agnostic so they can change sides. Whenever.
Do you know what agnostic means?
No, please do inform.
It means you don't know. We are all agnostic. We don't know. We may have a belief, but we don't know.
Definition of agnostic is unsure.
You like my scarf? You like it? Give me a break. I'm doing so good.
If that you might meet one day, we'll show next they change sides at. Unsure.
Oh, okay. Have fun with that.
You showed you drawing the priest said.
Show me. Show me how to draw one.
Just put white collar around next keyboard and you'll have a. Please.
back up.
There we go.
Nah, that shit ain't no reason to
Ask the ghetto lady in background confused.
That's the truth. I'm sorry. I gotta fix it. Leave my door alone. What is wrong with y'all? Why can't I have a part of this house? Open the door back up. I don't care that you're doing something. I own half the house. Jesus Christ. She want to stay here while I'm on the toilet. You want to close me in the fucking room every 5 minutes. Whatever you doing, do the shit when we're not here.
Okay, Michelle. Calm down.
Shit is crazy that I pay the rent too, but I don't own not an